So contrary to popular belief, I am entirely incapable of being on time. I should get ready for, and I was ready for 7:30, but actually managed on time for 8:30 this time. So I'm a little bit out of practice already. I think I already forgot most of the commands. No, I just noticed that there barely are any loading screens, and I forgot to get the cable.
Huey. Huey.
This is a very well-designed game. I mean, I will always have a preference for games that are more interesting than more well developed, because I mean you could say that a lot of games that are just basically rehashes year from year to year are well developed, but it doesn't mean you're going to like them. I'm gonna let down my hair. I have way too much. None of it is trimmed. None of it has been prepared properly for over a week. I have to pick up again. What all these things do, because I cannot remember. If I recall correctly, Mundus is one of the better things that you can make. Haunting Ground PS4, yeah, I wish. Wait, what about Haunting Ground PS4? Possible remake for PS3, yeah, that's never going to happen, probably. Haunting Ground, Alchemy Guide, that's what I need. Okay, slightly reduced panic, that's pretty decent. Stamina completely restored, that's not bad. I guess that's the best you could ask for that role. Yes. slightly restored. Nothing. That was a complete waste. I still don't understand exactly how it's supposed to show up, because nothing. Because sometimes I just barely touch it when it's supposed to appear, and it locks in exactly where I need to be. And sometimes it's apparently in the same place. Oh, please let me get this. Panic completely reduced. And sometimes I get complete blanks where I just will not walk onto anything. You know, I was gonna do this a couple of times for this stream, but it seems like despite the handful of misses that we had, I think this is as good as it's going to get. Like, I messed up a lot, like I'm messing up right now, but yeah, not to think. Remedium? Panic slowly restored. Stamina slowly restored, but panic is increased. That's not the best. Completely restores Huey's stamina, raises friendship. Yeah, I might just keep this one. See, I've been practicing to get the white ones so much that I'm primed to get the white ones, and they move so quickly, and it's so hard to pin them down because I think the spinning speed on them is actually different on each run and on each. What the hell are these things? Styled in the shape of crescent moons, the player becomes invisible after being idle for 2 seconds. The stalker may still find player, and if the stalker is close enough, the stalker will still know where the player is. Can be obtained by... You know, I have to be honest. Like this run is better than I could have asked for. That's interesting. You wanna get up, buddy? Thanks, Huey. You want pets?
Good boy.
No, I want to give you pets.
Good boy.
Get over here so I can give you pets.
Come on. Good boy.
Oh, let me find you. We'll find a better place to give you pets. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that later. In a second, I think there's something here, actually.
Come on.
Huey, I need you to help me deal with whatever this crap is. I didn't mean to kick you, buddy, but it doesn't seem like you mind too much. A pair of scales lies in the center of a corridor. A balance in the corridor. Just one more strange happening that I don't even try to guess at.
Go! Good boy.
Nice try. Let's try this door, I guess.
Go!
You know, I just had the best roll I could have possibly had. And I may never get a roll like that ever again. Just gonna make my way over here.
Huey.
I was kind of sloppy initially because I didn't really
Huey.
think that I was going to keep this.
Come on.
Okay, stop sitting over there and come on. I didn't think that my first roll was going to be that good, but I got some decent material. Especially that last thing that I got. I don't think I could have possibly asked for anything better. Open this. It's here. No.
Huey. Huey.
Huey, I need you.
Huey. Huey.
Yeah, Huey does not like him. Uh-oh. We walked into a cutscene. Something stupid is going to happen.
Miss Fiona. Now, if you would please come with me.
No, I don't want to. Please let me be. I want to go home.
But Miss Fiona, you are home. This whole castle is all yours. So, Miss Fiona does not wish to stay at her castle. You miserable wench. You were given the greatest gift of all, and you don't even appreciate it. I can't believe the Azoth was wasted on you.
Come on. Huey!
See
Looks
how,
like I have no choice.
see how good these are for evasion. Oh, he runs pretty fast. Huey, please stop running with him.
Come on. Come on.
Come on, we have to get away from this idiot. With the flintlock.
So this is where you do. over there.
Go!
Do your best, Fiona. Do your best, Fiona.
Yeah, that's why I saved. Because he has a gun. And I knew that was going to happen. I swear there was another way to get through there, but for some reason the camera picked the worst possible angle, so it was hard to get out of that. No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Huey! Come on. Come on.
There's a lot of aspects about this game that are extremely well crafted, and there's a lot of aspects that are very wonky.
Come on.
Looks like I've no choice. So this is where you
Huey!
Let's see if my old trick works. At least Huey isn't running after him this time. He's like, she couldn't have possibly run this far ahead of me. And he's right. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Huey is just freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know why I'm invisible. It's a good thing he doesn't freak out that I'm invisible, because I think a lot of dogs would be uncomfortable with that. Like, he seems like he's still on edge. The shitty thing is that I need to go where he just went, so... Okay, these earrings are the best things I could have possibly gotten. I mean, I'm gonna wait and see what see if he comes back. Let's see what I can get. So Inquisitor earrings increases speed and reduces panic slightly. Alchemist earrings recover panic faster, less panic when attacked. I got these fairy earrings which make me invisible. Yeah, there he is again. I knew he was gonna come back. Philosopher, there's really not that many places he can run, although it looks like I just expanded the area where I ran around with Daniela. Philosopher earrings reduces panic progression. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for increased attack, but it looks like most of them make sure that Huey isn't in the way when I kick something over. But it looks like this is honestly the best. Oh shoot.
Huey! Huey! Come on.
Let's go here. No Daniela here.
Good boy.
of scales hangs mysteriously from the statue's hand. One of the dishes is empty, offsetting the scales. Well, now we know what we're looking for, probably.
Huey.
I always found it strange that games always gave you such lopsided equipment. What is that? Are you looking up your own puke? Nice trail of blood here. Yes, I know that stupid thing is there.
Looks like I've no choice.
Disappear. You can't see me. And Huey got lost. It's a good thing these things are really stupid. That one looks like it actually wants to die, and has been trying that to accomplish that for quite some time. I need another drink. Just gonna get water this time. Transmuter. Synthesizing two objects together is a task any fool could surely complete. The true sage strives to master the art of transformation and the deep inner secrets to be reaped. White is the fool's color, as they will never know the glories to be had beyond this stale hue. A true scholar, striving for perfection, knows only the quest for the color red, for it is the symbol of utter perfection. Transmuter, that's great and everything, but what is this guy doing over there behind me? Is he headbutting the wall? I thought I had problems. Yeah, I don't think anything going on in this game. Just find some random chicken jerky lying around. I'm not sure if that jerky is made out of chicken, actually.
Go! Go!
You find something? It's okay.
Come on. Go!
Oh,
Good boy.
he's like, I know I'm a good boy. I like how Fiona can comment on pretty much anything, but then there's this guy who's licking his own puke off of the or the problem with these stupid things is that I can't tell if Huey is growling at them or if Ricardo is around. Just gonna let you do your thing. This seems like a trap. Oh wait, this is just the hallway that I came in.
Come on.
What's this? Nothing, it's just red outside, I guess. Ricardo tried to kill us. What did you do in here? knob has rotted off. I can't open the door like this. Probably just kick it in. Nothing to say about this, Fiona. Wait, can I break that? Can I break that? I can't even see it. I thought there was like a pot over there or something. Yeah, there it is, but I can't reach it, I guess. Time to hide in the corner. Okay, so he sometimes closes the doors. Let's see. Huey just kind of tackled him, and Ricardo was just like, okay, whatever. Oh, come on, Huey, you know exactly where I am. How did you get there? How in the world did you get there? Okay, I think it's safe. does he?
Come on.
So I think I went upstairs last time, right? Huey, is this place okay? There's a large amount of blood puddles around here. Won't budge. It appears to be blocked by something on the other side of the door. Well? Can I kick it? Okay, so this is essentially a dead end.
Huey.
Yeah, I went here last time. It's convenient. Yes, I would like to save the game. Almost 10 hours. That's mostly attributed to my stupidity and not knowing how to play a game like this. A large store stands unnervingly still. Letters have been etched into the door. Pursuer of truths, entrust the accumulation of knowledge to the judgment of the goddess. The mysteries beyond the door and the secret path will be known only to those resourceful enough to forge the Godstone. What do you have to say about this, Fiona? A Godstone? I have never heard that word before in my life, but maybe this stone will open the door? Your guess is as good as mine, Fiona. Just kick that door open. Kick the door open, and Ricardo is standing on the other side. Thanks for making this so easy for me. cart with some medicine on it. There may be some medicine here that I can use, but all the labels are smudged and I can't read a thing. Better not try something if I don't know what it is, especially in this place. Yeah, you might end up like that guy. Some kind of incubator? There's something inside. It just looks like a clump of meat. It's all fatty and gross. It just looks like a clump of meat. It's all fatty and gross. So annoyed. You can close that. Just looks like a clump of meat. So I need something that will, that will boost open the other side of that lab. Okay, first off, where am I? something that will act like a doorknob.
Come on.
Similar, I guess.
Come on. Come on.
There's really nothing over there for me to find. There's just like more puzzles and more problems. Then we get here.
Go, Huey.
What'd you find?
Good boy.
Good find. These boxes here, they don't seem to serve it. Oh, shoot. Is it really necessary to run like that when you have a gun like that? pick up anything? Huey was phasing in and out of the shadows a moment ago. I think there's something I'm missing. There's probably another, mechanic or something that I'm missing, because I can't imagine it's anything else. so yeah, I did miss something. It's not a mechanic, it's just I'm blind.
Come on.
Huey.
Huey.
Extractor, born from the swirling sands of chaos, the primordial element prima materia begins to decay, and before long changes into the yellow demon. For those seeking the next evolutionary step, stray not from the road of... Extractor I've never heard of. This place is full of odd inventions that I've never heard of. It appears you can insert an item here. Purification. Quite a large and complicated device. It looks like nutrients are being fed through here.
Huey. Come on. Come on.
He seems to have gotten more responsive over time, but it's hard to say. Yeah, there's supposed to be something here.
Come on. Go. Come on. Go.
See if you can find anything here. Magnesia. This item is used by setting on the ground. If enemy runs over the premium magnesia, it will explode and do catastrophic damage to them. Huey, I need you to
Come on.
come here so I don't kick you by accident. Shoddy looking research equipment has been left here. Some notes have been jotted down. That foul beast of a dog, that damned beast ran off with the prima materia that I was refining in the decomposer. I had spent countless hours stabilizing the damn thing, and that mutt has up and runs off with it. However, there's no reason to go running about searching for it. Of course, it is one of the key ingredients for creating the Godstone, but I have little need for the Godstone, as I will soon have my hands on a far greater power. My sweet, sweet Azoth, you are so splendid. A true masterpiece. I must have you. This infernal waiting grows rather tiresome. A dog? Maybe he was referring to Huey? Extractor. I know those make me sound stupid, but maybe it's to extract things. I'll just push the idea that they're using it to extract something from that woman in that capsule out of my head for now. Huey stole it? I wonder if he buried it in the garden or something. So I guess you can be pretty sneaky when you want to. Hey, Huey. I can distinctly feel air coming from inside. This leads. It's too tight of a squeeze for me. Does this lead where I think it's gonna lead? Decomposer. The initial step in this grand process begins with the manipulation of the primordial chaos. Deliver the prima materia to the extractor and the path to the Godstone, and all its righteousness will be known. Midway down the sacred path, if the result of one's knowledge bursts into ash, return to this location. For man is a beast of many mistakes, and more fortunately so, of many redemptions. Thus, all is not lost. Ash begets chaos, chaos begets primordial life. Know that the grand process always begins here. A device used to analyze things. Well, I'm hardly a techie, so a lot of this stuff is just too complex for me. But it would seem that this device is somehow related to the fact that the room is a corridor away. What's this? There's something inside. Nothing unusual. Avoid stepping on that square. Looks like somebody fell. Okay, Huey, I need you to go in there.
Go, Huey.
I will see you soon. Where did these lights come from? I don't remember there being lights. Hey man, how are you doing? I feel like they gave her the loudest boots possible so that they know where she is at all times. I can hear somebody.
Go, Huey. Come on. Huey! Huey!
It's a really smart boy.
Come on. Come on.
Okay, so these are not destroyable. Purifier. The impure yellow mass of filth will set free the shining glory of this sacred platinum via this baptismal ritual. Proceed to the next step of the grand process, that is synthesis. A purifier? Well, the fact that the room was bolted shut has to mean that someone was serious about keeping people out of this room. Maybe there's something here, something important. There it is. Verde medallion. This desk is covered with strange research equipment. What kind of research could possibly require all this equipment on such a large scale? There's something written here. I think I can just about make it out. Torva temporarily gives anxiety to those who use it, making them feel panicked. Weltigo numbs sensory nerves for those who use it, reducing hearing and blocking out background noise. Names for chemicals or medicine or something. Looks like their effects are listed as well. Yeah, none of the effects are very good. Take a guess at what I need to do next.
Come on.
This chamomile.
Come on.
Over there.
Come on.
This is really red.
Huey! Huey!
Oh, that's not fair. Um... I have no idea how they detected me, but I guess that worked. Sort of. I would feel a lot better if you ran ahead. I mean, ran from where I came from rather than where I need to be. And it looks like Huey got lost again. Come on. Stop eating your hand. Rebellion.
Come on.
Empty. Here. Hi, Huey. I totally can hide here.
Come on.
look at that. You're the only one who can jump over these headstones. Yep. I'm gonna go through here because I don't feel like going through that red
Huey.
hallway again. That's not what I... No, I didn't want to lock Huey out. I wanted to lock myself and Huey out.
Huey.
He always barks over there.
Go, Huey.
We need soup. Ion charged refined antimony powder. Throw this item at appropriate targets and the powder within will explode on contact, releasing a powerful electrical maelstrom. Hey, Nath. Sorry, I just saw your comment. I was trying to figure something out.
Huey.
Come on, I need you to come back. Actually, I don't want to go all the way through that. That's going to be a pain. Not sure what your name is. Nave Z4. Nave Za, if you're going with a lead speak.
Come on.
This was a fun part of the game. Making those golems go wherever you needed them to go, that was fun.
Come on.
Game freaked out for a second. Hey, remember when we tortured Daniela with the mirrors to mock her dysphoria because we're horrible human beings? I think those things are mostly harmless, but I'm really not sure. I'm pretty sure they can't do anything.
Come on.
Come on. Huey, I need you. Are you stuck on something again? I don't remember that. Oh, I thought that. Oh, okay.
Come on.
Born from the swirling sense of chaos, blah blah blah. So I think it starts with the extractor, then the purifier. Extractor, purifier, transmuter, and then there's another one I can't remember. Okay, yeah, so we start here. An indescribable material that looks like it could be both a solid and a liquid. So yeah, you found some Huey stole some jello that he found in the lab, carried it around in his mouth, and then threw it in the cemetery. And I guess they used that garden as a cemetery for their failed homunculi until they just decided to start throwing them in the furnace. And then they just stopped even bothering doing that, and they just let them run wild. The composition of this item has changed. You've obtained sulfuric ore. Okay. Getting irritated with me because he's not opening the doors anymore. He's just kicking them over like I do when I'm having. Huey's just freaking out.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, I thought you were locked from the other side. Did she comment on this at all? Oh my, the floor fell out. Why is this room in such a state of disrepair? The other rooms aren't. Fiona talks like one of my,
Come on.
colleagues from university.
Looks like I've no choice.
Who lit the fire there? Huey's like, I won't let him get to you. I'm like, get away. Yeah, I knew he was gonna come up here. I am so happy I crafted those earrings. Stop shooting at my dog. Oh, I thought the game was glitching out and I'm going to be stuck here. That would have been really unfortunate. Okay, I guess I'm safe for now. The furnace has been lit? Who did this? Probably somebody who didn't want you digging around here. And he's back. Fiona, there's a bad man here. I'm like, I know, go away. Go hide somewhere, I'll find you. Yes, that is a fire. I was gonna say, if they just started the fire in the fireplace, just kick it out. Just smother it. There's probably some useless crap around here that you can, use. And yeah, I just realized the decomposition room is decomposing. What's wrong with you?
Huey.
You're fine.
Come on.
You're doing just fine. So where is the purifier? I can't remember. I know the room that's okay. I am periodically checking a walkthrough because there's stuff like that going on here. What I hate most about the presence of those stupid things is it makes Huey upset. And when he's upset, it's hard to tell if he's upset at the it's hard to tell if he's upset at the hairless abomination that is licking its own urine or vomit or whatever off the floor, or if he senses Ricardo nearby. I don't know if Ricardo searches in armoires and behind curtains and stuff, but I feel perfectly safe using these fairy earrings.
Come on.
So what to say, do you sense somebody nearby?
Come on.
Huey!
Come on.
What are you doing? It's just like every single German Shepherd I have, he just goes off somewhere and just does something and you have no idea what he's doing. The glass has been shattered, this mirror is useless. synthesizer by separating the platinum half piece and then synchronizing with the sacred white, a new spiritual infused substance is forth. The path you're walking out is ever so dangerous, however. If you don't want the sacred white to be found by any god, then you should give up the grand process here. I think this is the one. Yeah, I think this is the last thing. Wait, no. Well, I'm stupid. I screwed up. Not a lot. Just enough. That's not what I want to do.
Huey.
It's Huey. He's just happy as can be. He's like, everything is great.
Come on.
We don't have any problems in the current moments, then we have no problems at all. Slurp all of that up, buddy.
Come on.
Quit growling at that idiot and let's go.
Looks like I've no choice.
the majority of this game is going to be this. I
Looks
say
like
10
I've
hours into
no
the game.
choice.
I'm really glad she doesn't freak out and expose herself when she hears an enemy on the other side of the door. It's like I can smell your ass off, but I have no idea where you are.
Come on.
Try to get as much distance between me and him as possible. It's not gonna be long before he decides to come after us. But at least this way I know where he is. I know where he is, and it's clear across where I need to be. So
Huey. Huey.
so here's an idea. Why don't you just bar the door? The impure yellow mass of filth will set free the shining glory of the sacred platinum via this baptismal ritual. Proceed to the next step in the grand process that is synthesis. Okay, so we use this first. Oh my, it actually transformed. You seem surprised.
Come on.
He's like, lady, I'm here. What do you want from me? And now, because of this asshole, I have to go around and get back to where I need to be. Not Huey,
Come on.
the Edge Master with the flintlock. I'm not actually sure what kind of gun that is supposed to be. It's a good thing that everybody in this castle is absolutely insane and never bothered to get guns or hire guards that aren't babbling lunatics. That one is just pretending that he's enjoying that piece of art. He's trying to vocalize something. I think it's here. the stairs. And here we are. Synthesizer, right? Oh. Composition has changed. And I think that's all I needed to do with it before putting it on those scales. I thought a scale pan was missing.
Huey.
Huey is like, wow, you're stupid.
Come on.
Huey.
Come on.
Ignore him, Huey. Let's
Come on.
go.
Come on.
You... You are a special dog, Huey. Okay, let's save here. I think I'm doing a better job at not save scumming. Pair of scales hangs mysteriously from the statue's hands. One of the dishes is empty, setting the scale off. There's some writing on the door. Pursuer of truths entrust the accumulation of knowledge to the judgment of the goddess. The mysteries beyond the door and the secret path will only be known to a resourceful enough to forge the goat stone. Assuming it's the white one that I need. not be able to use this anymore, but who knows? I think this is one of those points where the game is gonna screw you over. Okay. So the answer is maybe.
Huey.
Buddy. Okay, so I need to transfer. I forgot where it is. It's where that our special friend is licking the floor. Not sure if this is the best path. Not sure if this is the best path, but it's the path I'm taking. I knew it. I guess he's gone. Why is this happening to me? Dear God, if I get caught now, I'm sure they will kill me. No luck, I can't see any higher than this.
Come on.
I think whatever transformational properties the decomposition room has
Come on.
extends to everything else.
Come on.
footsteps. Yep, this is where I needed to be. Yes, Huey, I hate him too. Synthesizing two objects together is a task any fool can accomplish. The true sage strives to master the art of transformation, and the deep inner secrets to be reaped. White is the fool's color, as they will never know the glories to be had beyond the stale hue. The true scholar, striving for perfection, knows only of the quest for the color of red, for it is the symbol of utter perfection.
Huey! Help! Help! Go!
Gotta make sure that nobody heard that, although I'm sure they did. Forgot you could do that little sidestep. Crimson stone forged through a process that refines white godstones to their purest form. Let's get out of here. This game is usually good with the camera angles. Okay, I think he was just growling at the cleaning crew. Clock catches out moments in time. Save current progress. Alright, pretty achy and tired, and I heard that this next part is really long and really painful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause right here and pause right here and just call it a night, I guess. I'm gonna read a little bit. Turn the lights on. Because the next area that we're going to be dealing with is the Chaos Forest, and I heard that this is one of the worst areas. And it's also a part where if you screw up, you get the worst ending in the game. So, screw that. Let's see, how long is this section? How long is the second section? Okay. Just gonna do one section then. Meanwhile, the morning of the next day opened drearily, the sun appearing only after protracted periods of half-light, and then only as a pale paper disk, more like the moon than itself, as for a few moments at a time it floated across some corridor of cloud. Slow, lackluster veils descended with almost imperceptible motion over Gormenghast, blurring its countless windows as with a dripping smoke. The mountain appeared and disappeared a score of times during the morning as the drifts obscured it or lifted from its sides. As the day advanced, the gauzes thinned, and it was late afternoon that the clouds finally dispersed to leave in their place an expanse of translucence that stained, chill and secret in the throat of a lily, a sky so peerless that as Fuchsia stared into its glacial depths, she began unwittingly to break and re-break the flower stem in her hands. When she turned her head away, it was to find Mrs. Slag watching her with such a piteous expression that Fuchsia put her arms about her old nurse and hugged her less tenderly than was her wish, for she hurt the wrinkled midget as she squeezed. Nanny gasped her breath, her body bruised from the excess of Fuchsia's burst of affection, and a gust of temper shook her as she climbed excitedly onto the seat of a chair. "How dare you! How dare you!" she gasped at last after shaking and wriggling a miniature fist around Fuchsia's surprised face. "How dare you bully me and hurt me and crush me into so much pain? You wicked thing, you vicious, naughty thing. You, whom I've always done everything for. You, whom I've washed and brushed and dressed and spoiled and cooked for since you were the size of a slipper. You... The old woman began to cry, her body shaking underneath her black dress like some sort of jerking toy. She let go of the rail of the chair, crushing her fists into tearful, bloodshot eyes, and forgetting where she was about to run to the door when Fuchsia jumped forward and caught her from falling. Fuchsia carried her to the bed and laid her down. "Did I hurt you very much?" Her old nurse, lying on the coverlet like a withered doll in black satin, pursed her lips together and waited until Fuchsia, seating herself on the side of the bed, had placed one of her hands within range. Then her fingers crept forward, inch by inch, over the eiderdown, and with a sudden grimace of concentrated naughtiness, she smacked Fuchsia's hand as hard as she was able. Relaxing against the pillow after this puny revenge, she peered at Fuchsia, a triumphant gleam in her watery eyes. Fuchsia, hardly noticing the malicious little blow, leant over and suffered herself to be hugged for a few moments. "Now you must start getting dressed," said Nanny Slag. "You must be getting ready for your father's gathering, mustn't you? It's always one thing or another. Do this, do that, and my heart's in the state it is. Where will it all end, and what will you wear today? What dress will look the noblest for the wicked, tempestable thing?" "You're coming too, aren't you?" said Fuchsia. Fuchsia said. "Why, what a thing you are," squeaked Nanny Slag, climbing down over the edge of the bed. "Fancy such an ignorous question. I'm taking his little lordship, you big stupid." "What? Titus is going too?" "Oh, you're ignorant," said Nanny. "Is Titus going too?" she says. Miss Slag smiled pityingly. Poor wicked thing. What's a querelle?" The old woman gave forth a series of pathetic, unconvincing laughs, and then put her hands over Fuchsia's knees excitedly. "Of course he's going," she said. "The gathering is for him. It's about his birthday breakfast." "Who else is going, Nanny?" Her old nurse began to count on her fingers. "Well, there's your father," she began, placing the tips of her forefingers together and raising her eyes to the ceiling. "First of all, there's him, your father." As she spoke, Lord Simplegrave was returning to his room after performing the biannual ritual of opening the iron cupboard in the armory, and with a traditional dagger which Sourdust had brought for the occasion, of scratching on the metal back of the cupboard for another half-moon, which, added to the long line of similar half-moons, made the 737th to be scored into the iron. According to the temperaments of the deceased Earls of Gormenghast, the half-moons were executed with precision or with carelessness. It was not certain what significance the ceremony held, for unfortunately the records were lost, but the formality was no less sacred for being unintelligible. Old Sourdust had closed the iron door of the ugly empty cupboard with great care, turning the key in the lock, and but for the fact that while inserting the key a few strands of his beard had gone in with it and had been turned and caught, he would have felt the keen professional pleasure that all ritual gave him. It was in vain for him to pull, for not only was he held fast, but the pain to his chin brought tears to his eyes. To bring the key out and the hairs of his beard with it would ruin the ceremony, for it was laid down that the key must remain in the lock for 23 hours, a retainer in yellow being posted to guard the cupboard for that period. The only thing that was to do was to sever the strands of the knife, and this is eventually what the old man did, after which he set fire to the grey tufts of his alienated hairs that protruded from the keyhole like fringe around the key. These flamed a little, and when the sizzling had ceased, Sourdust turned apologetically to find that his lordship had gone. When Lord Sepulchrave reached the bedroom, he found Flay laying out the black costume that he habitually wore. The Earl had it in his mind to dress more elaborately this evening. There had been a slight but perceptible lifting of his spirit ever since he had conceived of this breakfast for his son. He had become aware of a dim pleasure in having his son. Titus had been born during one of his blackest moods, and although he was still shrouded in melancholia, his introspection had, during the last few days, become tempered by a growing interest in his heir, not as a personality, but as the symbol of the future. He had some vague presentiment that his own tenure was drawing to a close, and it gave him both pleasure when he remembered his son, and a sense of stability amid the miasma of his waking dreams. Now that he knew he had a son, he realized how great had been the unspoken nightmare which had lurked in his mind, the terror that with him the line of Groan would perish, that he had failed the castle of his forebears, and that, rotting in his sepulchre, the future generations would point at his, the last of a long line of discolored monuments, and whisper, "He was the last. He had no son." As Flay helped him dress, neither of them speaking a word, Lord Sepulchrave thought of all this, and fastened a jewel pin in his collar he sighed. Collar he sighed, and within the doomed and dark sea murmur of that sigh was the plashing sound of a less mournful billow. And then, as he gazed absently past himself in the mirror at Flay, another comber of far pleasure followed the first, for his books came suddenly before his eyes, row upon row of volumes, row upon priceless row of calf-bound thought, of philosophy and fiction, of travel and fantasy, the stern and the ornate, the moods of gold or green, of sepia, of rose or black, the picaresque, the arabesque, the scientific, the essays, the poetry and the drama. All this he felt he would now re-enter. He would inhabit the world of words with, at the back of his melancholy, a solace he had not known before. "The next," said Nanny Slag, counting on the fingers. "There's your mother, of course, your father and your mother, that makes 2. Lady Gertrude had not thought of changing her dress, nor had it occurred to her to prepare for the gathering. She was seated in her bedroom. Her feet were planted widely apart as though for all time. Her elbows waved on her knees, from between which the draperies of her skirts sagged in heavy U-shaped folds. In her hands was a paper-covered book, with a coffee stain across its cover, and with as many dog's ears as it had pages. She was reading aloud in a deep voice that arose above the steady drone of 100 cats. They filled the room, whiter than the tallow that hung from the candelabra or lay broken on the table of birdseed, whiter than the pillows on the bed. They sat everywhere. The counterpane was hidden with them. The table, the cupboards, the couch, all was luxuriant with harvest, white as death, but the richest crop was all about her feet, where a cluster of white faces stared up into her own. Every luminous, slit-pupiled eye was upon her. The only movement lay in the vibration throats. The voice of the Countess moved like a laden ship upon the purring tide. As she came to the end of every right-hand page and was turning it over her eyes would move around the room with an expression of the deepest tenderness, her pupils filled with the minute white reflections of her cats. When her thoughts would turn again to the printed page, then her thoughts would turn again to the printed page. Her enormous face had about it the wonderment of a child as she read. She was reliving the story, the old story which she had so often read to them. And the door closed, and the latch clicked, but the prince, with stars for his eyes and a new moon for his mouth, didn't mind, for he was young and strong, and though he wasn't handsome, he had heard lots of doors close and click before this one, and they didn't feel at all frightened. But he would have been if he had known who had closed the door. It was the dwarf with brass teeth, who was more dreadful than the most spotted of all things, whose ears were fixed on backwards. Now the prince had finished brushing his hair. While the countess was turning the page, Miss Slag was ticking off the third and fourth fingers of her hand. Dr. Prunesqualler and Miss Irma will come as well, dear. They always come to nearly everything, don't they? Though I can't see why. They aren't ancestral, but they always come. Oh, my poor conscience, it's always I who have to bear with them, and do everything, and I'll have to go in a moment, my caution, to remind your mother, and she'll shout at me and make me so nervous, but I'll have to go for she won't remember, but that's just how it always happens. And the doctor and Miss Irma make another 2 people, and that makes 4 altogether. Miss Slag gasped for breath. I don't like Dr. Prunesqualler, my baby. I don't like his proud habits, said Nanny. He makes me feel so silly and small when I'm not. But he's always asked, even when his vain and ugly sister isn't. But she asked this time, so they'll both be there. And you must stay next to me, won't you? Won't you? Because I've got his little lordship to care for. Oh, my poor dear hearts. I'm not well. I'm not. And nobody cares, not even you. Her wrinkled hand gripped at Fuchsia's. You will look after me? Yes, said Fuchsia, but I like the doctor. Fuchsia lifted up the end of her mattress and burrowed beneath the feather-filled weight until she found the small box. She turned her back on her nurse for a moment and fastened something around her neck, and when she turned again, Miss Slag saw the solid fire of a great ruby hung beneath her throat. You mustn't wear it today, Miss Slag almost screamed. Today, you naughty thing, when everyone's there. You'll look as pretty as a flowering lamb, my big, untidy thing. No, Nanny, I won't wear it like that. Not when it's a day like today. I shall wear it only when I'm alone, or when I meet a man who reverences me. The doctor, meanwhile, lay in a state of perfect contentment in a hot bath filled with blue crystals. The bath was veined marble, and was long enough to allow the doctor to lie at full length. Only his coal-like face emerged from the perfumed surface of the water. His hair was filled with winking lather bubbles, and his eyes were indescribably roguish. His face and neck were bright pink as though direct from a celluloid factory. At the end of the bath, one of his feet emerged from the depths. He watched it quizzically with his head cocked so far upon one side that his left ear filled with water. Sweet foot, he cried. 5 toes to boot and whatnot in the beetroot shoot. He raised himself and shook the hot water gaily from his ear and began swishing the water on either side of his body. His eyes closed and the mouth opened and all the teeth were shining through the steam. Taking a great breath, or rather a deep breath, for his chest was too narrow for a great one, and with a smile of dreadful bliss irradiating his pink face, the doctor emitted a whinny of so piercing a quality that Irma, seated at her boudoir table, shot her to her feet, scattering hairpins across the carpet. She had been at her toilet for the last 3 hours, excluding the preliminary hour and half spent in her bath, and now, as she swished her way to the bedroom door, a frown disturbing the powder on her brow, She had, in common with her brother, more appearance of having been plucked or peeled than of cleanliness, though clean she was, scrupulously clean, in the sense of a rasher of bacon. "What on earth is the matter with you?" I said. "What on earth is the matter with you, Bernard?" she shouted through the bathroom keyhole. "Is that you, my love? Is that you?" Her brother's voice came thinly from behind the door. "Who else would it be?" I said. "Who else would it be?" she yelled back, bending herself into a stiff satin right angle in order to get her mouth into the keyhole. "Ha ha 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 ha," came her brother's shrill, unbearable laughter. "Who else indeed? Well, let me think. Let us think. It might be the moon goddess, but that's improbable. Ha ha ha. Or it might be the sword swallower approaching me in a professional capacity. Ha ha. That is less improbable. In fact, my dear Taproot, have you by any chance been swallowing swords for years on end without ever telling me? Ha ha. Or haven't you?" His voice rose. "Years on end and swords on end. Where will it end if our ears unbend? What shall I spend on a wrinkled friend, on a pair of tights like a bunch of lights?" Orma, who had been straining her ears, cried out at last in her irritation. "I suppose you know you'll be late," I said. "I suppose you—" "A merry plague upon you, O blood of my blood," the shrill voice broke in. "What is time, O sister of similar features, that you speak of so subserviently? Are we to be slaves of the sun, that second-hand overrated knob of guilt, or his sister, that fatuous circle of silver paper? A curse upon their ridiculous dictatorship. What say you, Irma, my Irma, wrapped in Irma, of the incandescent tumor?" He trilled happily, and his sister rose rustling to her full height, arching her nostrils as she did so, as though they itched with pedigree. Her brother annoyed her, and as she seated herself again before the mirror in her boudoir, she made noises like a lady as she applied the powder puff for the 100th time on her spotless length of neck. "Sourdust will be there too," said Mrs. Slag, "because he knows all about things. He knows what order you do things in, precious, and when you must start doing them, and when you ought to stop." "Is that everyone?" asked Fuchsia. "Don't hurry me," replied the old nurse, pursing her lips into a prune of wrinkles. "Can't you wait a minute? Yes, that makes 5. And you make 6, and his little lordship makes 7. And you make 8, said Fuchsia. So you make the most. Make the what? Make the most what, my caution? It doesn't matter, said Fuchsia. While in various parts of the castle these 8 persons were getting ready for the gathering, the twins were sitting bolt upright on the couch watching Steerpike drawing the cork out of a slim, dusty bottle. He held it secured between his feet and bending over the corkscrew, firmly embedding the easing cork from the long, black cormorant's throat. Having unwound the corkscrew and placed the undamaged cork on the mantelpiece, he emptied a little of the wine into a glass and tasted it with critical expression on his pale face. The aunts leaned forward, their hands on their knees, watching every movement. Steerpike took one of the doctor's silk handkerchiefs from his pocket and wiped his mouth. Then he held the wine glass up to the light for a long time and studied its translucence. "What's wrong with it?" asked Clarice slowly. "Was it poisoned?" said Cora. "Who poisoned it?" echoed Clarice. "Gertrude," said Cora. "She'd kill us if she could." "But she can't," said Clarice. "And that's why we're going to be powerful." "And proud," added Clarice. "Yes, because of today." Because of today. They joined their hands. "It is a good vintage, your ladyship. A very adequate vintage. I selected it myself. You will, I know, appreciate it fully. It is not poison, my dear women. Gertrude, though she has poisoned your lives, has not, as it so happens, poisoned this particular bottle of wine. May I pour you out a glassful each, and we may drink a toast to the business of the day?" "Yes, yes," said Cora. "Do it now." Steerpike filled their glasses. "Stand up," he said. The purple twins arose together, and as Steerpike was about to propose the toast, his right hand holding the glass on the level of his chin and his left hand in his pocket, Cora's flat voice broke in. "Let us drink it on our tree," she said. "It's lovely outside, on our tree." Clarice turned to her sister with her mouth open, Her eyes were as expressionless as mushrooms. That's what we'll do, she said. Steerpike, instead of being annoyed, was amused at the idea. After all, this was an important day for him. He had worked hard to get it all in readiness, and he knew that his future hung upon the smooth working of his plan. Now, although he would not congratulate himself until the library was in ashes, he felt that it was up to him and the aunts to relax for a few minutes before the work that lay ahead. To drink a toast to the day upon the boughs of the dead tree appealed to his sense of the dramatic, the appropriate and the ridiculous. A few moments later, the three of them passed through the room of roots, filled along the horizontal stem, and sat down at the table. As they sat, Steerpike in the middle and the twins on either side, the evening air was motionless beneath them and around. The aunts had apparently no fear of the dizzy drop. They never thought of it. Steerpike, although he was enjoying the situation to the full, nevertheless averted his eyes as far as possible from the sickening space below him. He decided to deal gently with the bottle. On the wooden table, their three glasses glowed in the warm light. 30 feet away, the sunny south wall towered above and fell below them featureless from its base to the summit, save for the lateral offshoot of this dead tree. Halfway up its surface on which they sat, and exquisitely penciled shadows of its branches. Firstly, dear ladyships, said Steerpike, rising to his feet and fixing his eyes upon the shadow of a coiling bow. Firstly, I propose a health to you, to your steadfast purpose and the faith you have in your own destinies, to your courage, your intelligence, your beauty. He raised his glass. I drink, he said, to you, and took a sip. Clarice began to drink at the same moment, but Cora notched her elbow. Not yet, she said. Next, I must propose a toast to the future, primarily to the immediate future, to the task that we have resolved to carry through today, to its success, and also to the great days that will result from it, the days of your reinstatement, the days of your power and glory. Ladies, to the future. Cora, Clarice, and Steerpike lifted their elbows to drink. The warm air hung about them, and as Cora's raised elbows struck her sister's and jogged the wineglass from her hand, and as it rolled from the table to the tree, and from the tree out into the hollow air, the western sunlight caught it as it fell, glittering through the void. Next section... actually longer than this one, so I'm gonna call it. So everybody, thank you for watching, and when we come back, we will go into what I believe is to be the worst parts of not the worst, but the harder parts of this game. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.